All right. Devise strategies for physical activity outcome. Our physical activity outcome is we're playing an invasion sport, and our outcome is that we want to try and win that game that we're playing against our opposition. Understand the process of devising the strategies. Students are required to develop, trial and adjust the devised strategies. Our strategy yesterday was that we did a man-on-man defence. You guys did that. You did it without me telling you to do it. You just did it. And you trialled that. You played games with that. And then over the course of that period, you were adjusting, you were developing it, and you were actually doing it because you actually found like you're finding out the best ways to use that to actually try and stop the opposition from scoring points. The outcome needs to be considered. So I think in this case the outcome is about winning. It's about winning games and getting points. And obviously this is going to be a term-long competition, all right? And that's what we're doing. The most relevant strategies. So you have to identify if a strategy that you're using is actually relevant to trying to get that outcome of winning. All right, so you can make a judgment on that. You can say strategy is very important for that outcome. All right, or you could say this strategy is not so important for the outcome, but you have to evaluate that. Devising the strategies. Okay, clearly identifying the intended physical activity outcome, and that's easy. It's about winning. Clearly identifying each strategy to be developed. Okay, in this case yesterday it was man-on-man defence. How and why they are intending to apply each strategy to meet their intended. So why would you do a man-on-man defence? How do you do a man-on-man defence? All right, that's what you'd explain. You'd explain that there. Specific examples of how they would apply each strategy. So specifically say what you did. Use people. Say I marked this person. Explain why you marked that person. All right. Explain how you marked that person. Be specific about what actually happened in the game. Trialing and adjusting. So over the course of yesterday, all right, you guys actually started to like adjust what you're doing. You were doing it. And then you decided that you'd for example, at some point people realised that, they needed to mark someone they were comfortable marking, right? And so you have to adjust what you're doing. You couldn't just mark anyone. You couldn't just say, oh, you take that person. You had to think about who it was. And, I think that most people realise that the vulnerable people are the ones you've got to take care of. You've got to say to them, who do you feel comfortable marking? You're on them. And the faster people, well, they can mark anyone, but really you want to try and prevent the mismatch, don't you? That's the whole thing about a man-on-man defence. You're trying to prevent a mismatch, all right? Because if you've got a fast person on a slow person, all right, that's a mismatch, and that's going to make it hard to defend. So you trialled that. You also found at various points that you're getting really tired, all right? And we evaluated that, and we recognised that if you're standing up really close to that person, all right, you're going to have to run around with them. When they run around, you're going to use a lot of energy doing that, and you're not going to be able to keep that up for a long period of time. So a strategy you can use to ensure that doesn't happen is you just stay right back towards the line, and that way you can just walk around with them, making sure you stay line side of them, all right, and you don't have to actually run around forward and back with them. You just make sure that you're staying line side of them. So you must provide an explanation of adjustments that you've been making, what effect they have. All right. When you just sort of hang back close to the line and you don't chase them around the gym, all right, you obviously don't get so tired. So that's an outcome as well. All right. So that's the sort of thing you have to do. You have to write about. And I think you can start that now. You've got no level 2s here. They're not doing this. You are. All right. They're doing Muhammad Ali. All right. But this is something that you guys can do. All right. Is there any questions about that? You sure? Are you going to send that to us? Yes, I will. I'm going to put all that on my website. All right, so I'll do that now.